Hello and welcome back to Newsline, brought to you by People's TV. In today's news commentary, we draw your attention to several video clips leaked from Iran last night, despite strict nationwide media censorship. The protests continue to grow, undeterred by the government's attempts at suppression. Footage shows Iran's religious police force, the Basij, opening fire on civilian protesters. A brief background on the Basij: the force was established after 1979, following Khamenei's rise to power, as an auxiliary to the Iranian Revolutionary Guards Corps, IRGC. Originally formed of volunteers, the Basij were intended to support the IRGC. Today, however, they are being used to suppress civilians. Under the guise of enforcing religious principles, such as the hijab, they target anyone who criticizes the ruling party, arresting them, trying them in religious courts, and, in some cases, executing them. In effect, the Basij function more as Khamenei's personal police force. The video clips clearly show individuals in civilian clothing opening fire alongside uniformed soldiers. These are members of the Basij. Clashes between protesters and the Basij have intensified, putting heavy strain on both the IRGC and the Basij units. Some law enforcement personnel have been forced to retreat after Molotov cocktails ignited their uniforms. Protesters are also targeting government symbols in the streets, tearing down statues and memorials associated with political leaders as a visible challenge to the regime. In some areas, the unrest in Iran has escalated beyond protests, resembling localized battle zones rather than mere demonstrations. Analysts describe this as the most significant uprising since 2022. Intense clashes continue between protesters and the IRGC and police forces. Official reports confirm 7 fatalities, though human rights organizations suggest the actual death toll may be considerably higher, with arrests likely numbering in the thousands rather than hundreds. Leaked video footage shows civilians mobilizing on a large scale, with trucks delivering granite and other materials to construct barricades at key protest sites. Demonstrators have encircled Qom, Iran's 7th largest city and a major religious center. In the footage, protesters are seen targeting certain religious sites while shouting slogans demanding the removal of the government and its authoritarian leaders. On the night of the 19th, protesters toppled a statue of Qasem Soleimani. Reports also indicate that some soldiers may have been captured by demonstrators, creating a highly volatile situation, as the government could classify this as an act of terrorism and respond with lethal force. The situation is expected to escalate further. While details remain limited at this time, we will continue to provide updates as more information becomes available. Protests have now spread to Isfahan, a city that houses Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities and was targeted by U.S. strikes last year. Demonstrators are surrounding such strategic urban centers, amplifying pressure on the entrenched clerical regime. Masoud Pezeshkian, Iran's president, appears visibly unsettled and frustrated despite his position, which is widely seen as controlled by Khamenei. Though elected by the public, his authority is largely overshadowed by the supreme leader. 2 nights ago, the president remarked that during a meeting with government officials, only 7 light bulbs were working in a room, far more than necessary, highlighting Iran's ongoing electricity inefficiencies. He has begun voicing public criticism of the regime's mismanagement, seemingly weighing whether to align with the government or with the citizens. For now, however, it remains clear that he continues to side with the ruling authorities. What began as demonstrations in Iran's major cities has now spread to rural towns and villages, signaling a nationwide wave of unrest. Protesters are no longer limiting their actions to urban centers. They are actively targeting government property wherever they go, setting fires to offices, municipal buildings, and other symbols of state authority. This expansion of the protests to smaller communities underscores the deep-seated frustration among citizens across all regions, reflecting widespread dissatisfaction with the government's policies and the clerical leadership's long-standing mismanagement. The movement shows no signs of slowing, as both urban and rural populations continue to challenge the authority of the regime with increasing intensity. If this report helped you see the situation on the ground clearly, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to People's TV, where truth has no agenda, and facts speak louder than spin.
Subscribe us for more details.